It's been great. The first couple of days I got a little injury, so I've been out for a little bit. But aside from that, I'm settling in well. Loving being here. It's been great so far.
Injuries, nothing to be concerned about, I hope?
No, I'll be back in a week or two. Just a little knee thing, but yeah, I'm totally fine.
Do you know? Obviously, imports haven't arrived, and has Forde talked to you about what your role will be with this squad, whether you're a starter or is it too early?
It's too early to say, really. I mean, I think he's super confident in my ability. I am as well. I'm excited for those guys to get in and to gel with them and figure it out. I think the biggest strength of this team is versatility. So things could change from night to night. We don't know, but whatever happens, it's fine.
Every player I've spoken to has said they love having Forde pre-season. What's your thoughts so far for the last couple of weeks?
Oh, really good. It's totally different from the college pre-season I just had. That one is it's like 3 months of pre-season, and there's just block after block, and this is pretty well straight into it. It's short, you don't get a lot of time together, but Forde definitely maximises the time we get in here, and we're gelling well. So.
Yeah, that was actually what I was going to ask too. Everyone talks highly about Forde and the kind of guy who's during those conversations before you actually arrive. What have those conversations been like, and what have you learned, I guess, already so far that's been with Forde in the way that you want to play and what you use?
Yeah, I think from a style of play and an X's and O's, I'm super excited to play for him. The freedom he sort of gives his players, obviously there's really strict guidelines and things like that, but he gives his guys the green lights to really play off what they're good at. And play to their strengths as well. Aside from conversations we've had, it's just he's been amazing. His ability to want what's best for his players long term. He kind of has an eye in the present, an eye on the future. And you see guys like Keanu Pinder who he encourages guys to move on, and he really cares about his guys. So yeah, it's been great.
I was going to say, the first time I've seen a 4-point practice, is that how confident Forde is with your shot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a shooting thing, but it's more of a spacing thing, especially with our length and size. We want to be able to stretch teams out, and that's just sort of a guideline of where we want to play, and it opens up a lot more on the backside rather than just shooting from there.
Pre-season games start next week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what do you want to see out of, I guess, whether you suit up or the guys who take the court? What do you want to see, I guess, in that first foray into the quarter?
Yeah. Obviously that would be our first hit out, and it's going to be interesting because a lot of our major pieces aren't here. But the only thing you can really hope for is that we play really hard, and I'm sure that we will. I'm excited to see these guys play. Playing games different to practice, and a lot of these guys are new to me. So I'm excited to see how they play, whether I play or not. It'll be good just to get a feel for everyone, and it'll be a good learning curve either way.
AK-47, it was a nickname, but I changed my number to 13. If the fans didn't know, I changed to number 13. That was my first ever number, but I wore AK-47 just because, AK-47 is pretty, so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you're saying you're 13 now with the Taipans. Okay, that's changed. What? So 13?
13, yeah, that was my first ever number that I wore. Started playing basketball when I was 5, had 13. Then had a couple more numbers. Now I just feel like, it's a good start to, go back to 13.
I love that. Do you mean when you say new start?
Yeah, new chapter. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of societies think of 13 as unlucky. Are you going to change the trend this year?
Mm-hmm. Exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do.
On a different note, how's preseason been? Another Forde coach preseason.
It's been great. Been loving it. Practicing up and down with the boys. We've been going hard, throwing a lot of information at us. Forde is a really intelligent coach, detailed. So, coming in day by day, trying to get better, trying to get stronger, just trying to get prepared for the season.
Last year, Lat Mayan sort of started the season, sort of coming off the bench, not many minutes, and a lot of people have been saying, look, that could be your role, but then towards the end of the year, he was one of the best players and a crucial player in the finals. Where do you think you're going to stand with this roster at the moment and the level of talent they have?
Just anywhere where they have me to go. If I play 10 minutes or if I play 30 minutes, just any role that I have to do, I'll go out there and do it, and just by any means, do anything for the team.
Well, what have you made of, I guess, the boys here now that you guys are all together? You can get a feel of, I guess, training alongside each other and a little bit of your games and how they kind of meld in together. What excites you about this group?
Young, energetic, athletic. We're just going to go out, run, play above the rim. We're going to be a very, very entertaining team to watch. Very entertaining.
Is there anyone out there who you're pretty keen to see in a game situation?
On the other team?
No, on yours, like being able to see them in a game situation, lighting it up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole team. Bobby, Sam's, both Sam's, the whole team, you know. Mudita, it's the term that my coach in high school used to say. Mudita is a vicarious joy for other people, and like I feel like I go by that. You know, I'm happy to see my teammates succeed. So yeah.
I'll just ask one more. Is That's not here in preseason, is he at the moment?
No, he's here.
He's here. He's just sick.
Oh, okay. Did you do anything for his birthday during the week?
Oh yeah. Went to go eat out with him and his wife and his kid. Yeah, spent time with them.
And then follow up from that is, who do you think you've been getting along with the most so far?
Right now, Bobby, I feel like we're similar age. You know, Alex and Keen, I just played NBL 1 with them. But I've been, you know, cool with the whole team. Starting to get cool with the whole team. You know, it's the second week, starting to gel more. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he's going to miss out. Obviously, represent South Sudan in the World Cup. Fractured his wrist, so I think he's about week 3 into a 6-week, process of rehab, and then we'll get him rescanned at the end of the month, and then do his timeline of return to play then. So, we anticipate hopefully we'll get a couple of minutes out of him out of the blitz. Definitely don't want to, run him into the ground like we did last year with all the minutes he played at the blitz. But it sucks timing wise for him because obviously South Sudan are on the. They're making history by representing the country in the World Cup, and he was such a large piece of helping to get them there. But he's there now in Melbourne, obviously supporting the boys with their practice games, and he'll be back with us by the end of the week.
And then follow up, how did he do it? It wasn't at the Taipans training, was it? Or was it through basketball? Or?
No, he did it on his own time, just scrimmaging, and took a charge, as Bull does, and obviously came up worse off for it. But, hopefully he learns not to necessarily take charges now and pick up games, which would be great. But, he'll be fine. He's good spirits.
That's the first time I think I've seen a 4-point line at one of your practices. Is that because you're confident in shooting, or for?
No, we had it last year.
Oh, it was there last
year?
year?
Yeah. It's a good teaching tool for floor placement and spacing more than anything. So the boys will get out there and shoot it and go for it. But we use it more as a point of reference for spacing.
I was going to say I've heard during the week, I think every year you compared your coaching to cooking somehow, or being a chef. And is there a reason for that, or you previously worked as a chef? Or?
No, I was just trying to think of an analogy at the time, and I felt like my mouth was probably operating faster than my brain. But you got to suit. You got to bring in guys that suit your style. Same with staff, same with players. I have a particular way I like playing and doing things, and I felt like that's where a lot of our struggle was in the first year, was trying to get that balance, and a lot of time it was Jekyll and Hyde. But now I feel like we're a little bit more on the same page, and this is year 3 too, where I've had a hand at picking everyone on the roster. So it all falls on me to now sort of get the guys on the same page, and the cool thing about it is we've got a lot of guys that complement each other, but also a lot of players that are quite similar in their skill set. So you provide a little bit extra competition, knowing that positions are up for grabs because, I want to run fast, I want to get out of the lanes, I want to shoot threes, and everyone's capable of doing that. Whoever does it better in the week and the weeks leading into it and throughout the season is obviously going to get more opportunity.
Who's been most impressive? I remember you talked highly of Sam Menenga when you arrived here.
Yeah, he's been tough. He's been great. Missed out on New Zealand national team selection, but selfishly great for us because now we get a full preseason in with him. Taran's been super impressive. I knew coming in the type of player Taran was going to be. But he's the way his body is, and the level of IQ he has on the floor, on both ends of the floor, has been really impressive. So it's cool having him and seeing what he's capable of doing.
And the first few weeks of pre-season, then rolling into that first game next week, like what do you want to see, or have you asked to see out of the guys during these first few weeks?
Yeah, I guess the building blocks. We've got a lot of new guys in at the moment. So when we play that game next week, it's going to be without Taj and without Bull, who are obviously very centerpieces of what we do. So it's a good opportunity for the new guys to really showcase what they've been able to transfer over from practice floor to the games. It's their first real test. It's not a test of results. It's more of a test of the things that we're trying to build in our habits. Getting to certain spots, being able to defend a particular way. If they're showing signs that they're getting it, and that's us on the right track. If we don't, then we've got to pick it up a little bit at practice. But, my hope is obviously we're sort of plotting a graph of where we want to be. And at the end of week 2 of pre-season, we're pretty good. So we're managing obviously some sore bodies because naturally you go from, doing minimal to now, training to be an NBL player. The body responds a little bit differently after week 2. So, we manage practice and we manage that load in anticipation of that. So it'll be good in the following weeks when the body starts to respond more positively.
You're getting awfully close to season 3 officially. I guess the first game of season 3. Season 3's already started in pre-season. How confident are you, I guess, seeing the guys that you brought in, the team, the extended squad that you've built, versus other teams, the way that they look at Cairns and the way that they look at your coaching, making season 3 closer to season 2 and being, I guess, a semi-final team again? How confident are you on that?
Yeah, I guess what I've probably learned more than anything is actually don't pay attention as much as I used to, because you come to realise a lot of people actually don't know what they're talking about. So we really focus in on what we're doing and our day-to-day, and that's what's really important is, the day, like coming in with the idea of, dominating video, and then dominating warm-ups and then dominating the drill, and then by the end of it to be able to walk away from practice and go, okay, we killed that, and now the boys will head over to gym and want to win the gym session. And so you get enough of those wins together and you start stringing together some consistency. So what is important to us, it doesn't really reflect on what anyone's opinion is of us, and I feel like I probably had to learn that more than anybody, because the people that said that we didn't sign talent last year are the same people complaining that we're losing talent, and we've just rinsed and repeat, and if anything I feel like we've upgraded a lot of positions in our roster.